S.N. Bud Wolbach, philanthropist, Grand Island, deceased. His grandfather began the First National Bank of Grand Island, and Bud served as president and chairman of the board of the First National Bank of Grand Island from 1956 to 1982. During this time, the bank grew from $20 million to almost $150 million. A hands-on manager, Bud knew the personal touch was important in business.
And he had a wonderful sense of humor, but his first farm sale, after the farm sale was over with, why, all the gentlemen that had worked for the sale sat around the kitchen table and passed a bottle around, and they all took a healthy swig, and the first time Bud did it was the tears were just really running down his eyes. It was strong stuff. And he said after about 3 or 4 farm sales, he could take a big slug and the tears wouldn't come down his down his cheeks, so he knew he was a true banker.
As an aeronautical engineer, Bud worked throughout World War II for the Beechcraft Company in Wichita, designing future aircraft. When he returned to Grand Island, he served on every civic and philanthropic board in the area.
He thoroughly enjoyed being with people. I think that was one of the main reasons, that and wanting to do for other people. It was a great enjoyment to him to do whatever he could for his community. He always said that he was fortunate enough to have a comfortable life in his young life from what his ancestors had done for him, and he thought he needed to repay the community for that.
As a well-known community and civic booster, Bud was asked to serve on the Hall County Museum Board, which includes the Stir Museum, in 1961.
Well, some days went by and Mr. Stir came back and said, "Bud, if you go on the board, I promise you won't have to do one thing, but I really need you. Would you go on the board with the other men?" And Bud said, "Sure, I'd be happy to." And Leo said, "Oh, now you understand, I'll take care of a lot of things. You're not going to have to do much." Well, within the next 2 weeks, Leo died. And I think the rest is history. Bud was president of the Stewart Museum for 40 years. So he did have to do a little bit.
Gloria alluded to, he spent hours and hours and hours putting this together. And as we all know, once you get these things going, then a lot of people were ready to jump on board, but it takes a while to get there.
Because he was always the first one there. He was going to be involved, and so because of how he went about it, it made it really easy to want to become involved and try to be as philanthropic as he had been. And so he was the kind of guy you want to be like.
Under Bud's leadership, the Stir grew to be rated among the top 10 outdoor historical museums in the United States. Today, a life-size bronze stands at the main entrance to the museum, a testament to his profound love and dedication to the Stir Museum and its mission. He was honored as Philanthropist of the Year. His remarks show his genuine warmth and humility.
Family is very important in one's life, but so are friends. I didn't get to this podium all by myself. Thanks to my family and all of you friends, I'm here today. God bless you and thank you.
A newspaper eulogy summed up Bud in these words: "His quiet smile could light up the darkest room. His steady gaze betrayed the self-confidence of a man comfortable in his own skin. His handshake was better than a contract."
And the word friend doesn't fit them. It's a lot more than that. This summer, when Don Mayhawk came to the Stewart Museum to talk to us, Tom said, Well, you can count on the fact we will be there, and Gloria will be with us. Little did he know at that time that I was going to trip and fall. He didn't know, and Kim didn't know, that they were going to end up putting a 2-ton Tilly in a wheelchair, getting me in and out of a car and into the hotel. But they are the reason why I'm here tonight, and I'm deeply indebted to them. I also would like to thank all of my friends and family that are here tonight to be with me during this nice recognition of Bud. It has brought back many, many happy memories of our life together. There is one thing about him that most people didn't know, and he had a tremendous sense of humor. If he had a twinkle in his eye and a smile on his face, you knew the wheels were turning and he was going to come up with a happy remark. As an example, when he was Philanthropist of the Year, they asked him to give a speech after he was to receive the award. And it really did worry him. He didn't know what he was going to say. Finally, he came home one day and he said, I've got it all figured out. And I said, what's that? And he said, well, I looked at the dictionary and I looked up the word philanthropy. And he said, the most suitable definition that I could find was devotion to human welfare. I was out in the audience and I happened to notice that there was a pause. And I could see the smile and the twinkle, and I thought, uh-oh, the wheels are turning. And then he went back to his speech and he said, when I looked up the word philanthropy in the dictionary, I couldn't help but notice that it was between two other words. The first one being philanderer, and the second one being philosophical. He said, I think I will work on the latter one. His sense of humor. He was also king of the limericks. He had one for any occasion. If it was a quiet evening, the limericks were quiet. If it was a raucous evening, the limericks were raucous. And they got raucous. Just ask Kim Binfield. She was a protege of his. And they'd get together and compare limericks, and it made a huge success of any gathering that we had. One of the greatest blessings that I have had in my life was that God gave me 28 years of happy marriage to Bud. We had many, many happy days together. We loved to fish, we loved to travel, and we loved to work in our community. The community, Bud's family, had done many, many things for the community. The community did many, many things for us. And we always would like to return that to our community. So I thank everyone, my friends and all the other honorees, for being here this evening and enjoying a very, very special night for me. I was married to quite a man. Thank you. God bless.